Welcome to Your Health Today with Charlie Rouse. In our program today, we'll talk about health issues that are important to you and your family and how products from the world of natural medicine can help us all stay strong, fit, and healthy. And now, here's your host of Your Health Today, Chris Hall.
Well, it's good to have you with us today on Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse, and it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Of course, where we're broadcasting from, our studios in South Georgia, the only snow we have around here, Dr. Rouse, is we still actually have cotton in the cotton fields, which is kind of amazing, isn't it? But it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is. I had one time one of my natural medicine reps from Green Bay, Wisconsin, flew down to Albany to see the medicine man.
Yeah.
And I think she was more impressed with the White Unto Harvest. It really was an eye-opening experience for a Wisconsin snow person. And you know, they had just they had come down here at this season of the year, and those cotton fields are Georgia cotton.
Yeah,
is a commodity the world cannot do without.
Beautiful, and you know, I was raised on a farm in South Georgia. We were through with cotton back in the day by Labor Day. Now it's almost Christmas, and there are still fields that are ready to be harvested. Kind of amazing, isn't it?
And how they can roll it all up into one bundle
amazing.
And stick it in the back of a truck amazes me.
Yeah, how things have changed. Well, it's good to have Dr. Charlie Rouse with us today on Your Health Today, and it's good to have you joining us today as well. So we're getting close to Christmas time. Now, any kind of thing special, any kind of special promotion going on with the Medicine Man's Corner, your great website, which represents your great store here in Albany, Georgia. Anything special going on for Christmas?
You know, it is at themedicineman.com, themedicineman.com. We're always trying to be favorable to our listeners and to our podcast associates and to all of our good customers, because you know the Medicine Man's been around for 25 years, and got some very loyal customers, and yes sir, we pop something up there every day, and we got some good looking stuff up there. So for me to go down the list, you'd say, well, I don't know what that was, but when you go to the website and you just play around with it a while, people actually have fun. It's sort of like, hey, here's the keys to my new car. Go drive it, because you really don't know that that GSP little television set can do, and all the gizmos and gadgets. Well, at themedicineman.com, we've got a lot of information there. And it's almost like jumping right into the Chris and Charlie For Your Health podcast show.
There you go. And let's kind of connect people a little bit. You can find all of our podcasts at yourhealthtodaypodcast.com. Now, don't forget to put the podcast in there. It's yourhealthtodaypodcast.com. And there you'll find all of our shows, our recent shows. And you can connect on the good information that we're sharing. Also, Dr. Rouse, I know under construction, as they say, is a new website for you guys, and that will be very interactive as well, and we'll have more information about that as the days go by. Now, you can always contact Dr. Rouse. You can do it at yourhealthtodaypodcast.com. You'll find a link to an email there. Or you can send Dr. Rouse a question or a comment at Dr. Rouse at att.net. That's DOCTORROUSE at att.net. Or you can even give him a call. It's 229-436-0100. And Dr. Rouse will be happy to speak with you. But Dr. Rouse, we have some things we want to talk about, but I did have a question someone asked me this week, and I thought I would pass it along to you because it was a pretty good question. He wanted to know about multivitamins. This is a guy about 55 years of age and really kind of in pretty good health, has a little knick-knack issues here and there. But he said, instead of taking like a lot of separate things, is there a multivitamin that would be good for me to take? And of course, I said, well, I'll ask the expert. So I'm asking you, what about that? What about a multivitamin for someone?
There is. And for me just to give you a generic answer, I might lead you wrong because you might just go pick up a multivitamin.
Right.
They might have some of the non-real stuff, synthetic junk in there.
Right.
But what we found is that if you'll get a whole food, that's WHOLE, like total, whole food, FOOD, and that vitamin is made just from what your mama tried to get you to eat.
I got
the spinach, the cabbage, the broccoli, the strawberry, the blueberry, the pine. It's got all of it, fruit and vegetable. And the truth is that you would probably have to eat maybe 10 different fruits and vegetables every meal 3 times a day to get the equivalency of what's in it. So is that the name of the product, Whole Food? Whole Food would be on any generic label. Yeah. But if you want the real McCoy, then you're going to go to themedicineman.com, or you're going to call the phone number, and you're going to ask for Life's Vitality. Vitality. Okay. And you know what? When you get it, you're going to know that, wow, I didn't know I had that much energy left in my cycle.
So is that good for men and women?
Men and women.
Yeah.
So it's a total blend. And I mean, when I say total, it probably has something like 200 separate nutritionals. That
now this is not, it's not big as a horse pill, is it? I mean, it's.
I wouldn't say that it's swallowable by anybody, everybody. But you know how they do it? They go and harvest all the fruits, all the vegetables, and then they blend it and they make a slurry out of it. They actually pour pure water, purified water in there, and when they get a vat of this soup, then they take this glass dome over the soup, and with the chemistry, they turn on the button, and it draws all of the water out of there and leaves a perfect, pure, dry powder. They call that freeze dried. Yeah. And because you don't heat it, every molecule is left in its syntax. It's left in its chemistry. And oh man, it's like getting God's purity right out of the farm.
So Life's Vitality.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Life's Vitality.
It's okay.
Got to get it right.
And it will support you.
Yes, Life's Vitality. If you are looking for a good multivitamin. Well, let's talk a little bit about immune support. The vaccine has rolled out for the COVID-19, and people are beginning to talk about it and take it. But again, your immune system being strong and healthy is so vital, even if you take a vaccine, because if your immune system is compromised, the vaccine won't do you any good. It may even harm you. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
You said two things that were absolutely true. Yeah. and let me think about this, because an immune support definitely is something we need to focus on and put our attention to. But let's talk about the COVID coronavirus vaccine. And it's different from all the other vaccines that have ever been created. Right. In the past, when you took a flu vaccine, a shingles vaccine, a pneumonia vaccine, any of those vaccines, they were actually made from the weak form of the virus. Right. And they just took a weak virus and hoping that your body would be strong enough to build up an immune system response and give you a new antigen antibody against the bug or the bad virus. But COVID is different. Yeah. They've really gone to tinkering. It's sort of like going down into Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory. It really is, Chris. Wow. It's one of the most scary things that I can think of as a pharmacologist. And what they've done is they have tinkered with God's creation. And they have gone in there and they are making a vaccine that we call an M for messenger RNA. Inside the cell, the nucleus of the cell is your life, your story, your history, your creation. They call that DNA. In order for the DNA to communicate and to build, they are using messenger RNA, and that's bad. mRNA vaccines are something that they're experimental. And what they found in the research is that somebody with an autoimmune problem, let's say they have Hashimoto's or MS or lupus or Lou Gehrig's or rheumatoid arthritis, or let's say they have an allergy to food. They may be allergic to a shrimp or a peanut, or they have just a common asthma. All of that, those people should never take an mRNA vaccine because in the research, and they hid this, they swept it under the rug. In the research, they noticed that even healthy people like you and me, that when we take an mRNA vaccine, that it throws our immune system into a scallywag or a discombobulated who knows what. And it throws you and me into a progressive lineup to where we could actually give ourselves a opportunity to get an autoimmune response. So we may get psoriatic, rheumatic arthritis. We may come down with Lou Gehrig's. We may
so it kind of opens the door.
Opens the door because you are messing with the chemistry that God created for your immune system. So going back to your first question, is there an immune support? And the answer is that and for Dr. Charlie, his favorite, most effective, and we've used it for 25 years, is a good nutrition that contains thymic, THYMUS, a thymus or a thymic, THYMIC. And in that, if you can get a good vitamin with thymic in it, it will balance. It will make the low better and the high down. It's sort of like a modulator. When you can modulate your immune system, you're home free.
Cool.
And thymic's good for mold and yeast and virus and bacteria and all these allergies, and all these people with autoimmune already. They really do. They respond well with thymic. So, hey, we learned something today.
Very interesting.
Immune support.
Yes, very interesting and very timely information that we're dealing with today. And I just thought I did have people ask me questions. They say, "Well, you're on there with Dr. Charlie, so you must know something." And I tell them,
they always say, "Well, are you going to take the new vaccine?" And I say, "Well, this is the case. This is really the case where you say you first." Because the people really don't know.
Right.
I mean, this is a Frankenstein monster opportunity.
And it took how many years to get the polio vaccine? Year after year. And this was done in like 8 months or something?
But in the polio vaccine, now remember, all they did was use a weakened polio virus.
But this is different.
This is different. This is not the virus.
This is like a manipulation of
This is called messenger RNA. And you can Google that, messenger RNA, and you'll see that is getting into the genetic side of life. It's sort of like in Genesis 6 when God said he had to flood the earth because he said the angel monsters had cohabitated with the women of earth, and they had created a genetic mess. And God took the world out because of that.
Now, there's multiple vaccines. Pfizer has theirs, Moderna has theirs, and they're all different. They can be stored at different temperatures and whatever, but they all basically are the same in what they do. Is that correct?
Correct. These are mRNA vaccines, and the way I understand it, they're going to give you a shot today and then come back 2 weeks and
give you a booster.
They're actually, and even when you get the shot, they're going to make you sit over there in the closet for about 30 minutes because it is activating your immune system like in an autoimmune response. There's some people that are going to have an anaphylactic reaction. In other words, it's going to choke them to death sitting right there in the doctor's office.
Wow. Well, it's a lot to think about. People are so hungry for a solution to what is going on, and I can understand that, but it's a lot to think about in these days. So if you have questions about this, you want more information about this, you can contact Dr. Charlie Rouse. He's very accessible. 229-436-0100 is his phone number. If you want to zip him an email, you can do that at drrouse@att.net. Just spell doctor out, Dr. Rouse at att.net, or you can go to yourhealthtodaypodcast.com. That's where you can find all of our podcasts. There you'll find links and pages and information, and you'll find a link where you can send Dr. Rouse an email as well. All right, good timely information that we have today. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment with more from Dr. Charlie Rouse on Your Health Today.
Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. We'll be right back.
Who is Dr. Charlie Rouse? Dr. Rouse is a pharmacist with a degree from the University of Georgia College of Pharmacy. He is an expert in the world of natural medicine. He is the founder and owner of the Medicine Man's Corner, a business which specializes in pharmaceutical-grade nutritional vitamins, natural products, and more. Dr. Rouse is a natural product formulator, writer, author, lecturer, and radio and TV personality. Dr. Rouse is a husband and father. He is also a Christian who really cares about helping people. For more information on the many products Dr. Rouse has to offer, visit his website, themedicineman.com. You can contact Dr. Rouse through his website, or you can email him at drrouse@att.net. That's DOCTORROUSE@att.net. Or you can call Dr. Rouse at 229-436-0100 to set up a confidential professional healthcare consultation in person, over the phone, or on the internet. Dr. Rouse would love to hear from you.
Here's Chris Hall, host of Your Health Today with the Medicine Man, Dr. Charlie Rouse.
Dr. Rouse, what's good for bone health?
For women, the biggest threat to bone health is osteoporosis. That's a condition in which the bones lose their supporting tissue as well as their mineral content. Osteoporosis affects better than 20 million women in the United States, and a woman can reduce the risk of osteoporosis by engaging in regular exercise, not smoking, drinking less soda pops, and getting with supplementation. Certainly we know about calcium and vitamin D, but the most important nutrition for the bone is iproflavone, ipriflavone. Iproflavone. It's a natural for bone density.
His website is themedicineman.com.
Welcome back to Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse.
And it's good to have you with us today on our podcast. Good information today that we are sharing. Very, very important information that we are sharing today. And it's always important when you're talking about our health. Well, Dr. Rouse, I guess it's time for us to go meddling a little bit. Here we are in the Christmas season. Chocolate cakes are out there. The cookies are out there. The stuff is out there that we love to eat this time of the year. But it's time for us to talk about weight management. Have you seen any reports about how much weight people gain during the Christmas season? I've seen those in the past, but we're kind of sedentary a little bit, and we eat a little bit, maybe too much. And so one of our great resolutions is in the new year, we're going to lose weight. Have you seen any reports about how much weight people put on?
Well, I can only anecdotally speak for myself.
Yes.
And looking in the mirror and fastening my belt, I said, yep, my resolution is get serious.
There you go.
Now, I can't get too serious today because somebody just gave me a box of Godiva chocolate.
Oh, my goodness.
And I love ethylene.
Have you hidden it? Can I find it? Is it around here somewhere?
Definitely on the hidden side. And I actually had a jar of some of the best looking chocolate sitting out there on the counter. I must have had 100 pieces in there. And yet last night I looked and there was one left.
Well, no one wanted to get the last piece, right?
And I'm glad they left it for me. So
speaking of chocolate, now dark chocolate's not really that kind of bad for you, right? Dark chocolate's good for you.
It has that stuff called resveratrol. So truthfully and really, you can eat 2 pieces of dark chocolate every day, not gain weight, and benefit cardiovascularly. Cool. So actually, we just told you something healthy good.
There you go. If you get a chocolate, fit, go find some of that good stuff. All right, let's talk about weight management support. I'm a baby boomer, and I got that thing where it's really hard. I get to a point, and it's really hard to get over the hump to lose more weight. That's one of my goals. So how can we help people, especially maybe the older folks? I don't characterize myself as being that old, but folks in my category, your category, how can we help folks to be sure that we don't get overweight, which is a bad thing, right?
Yeah, well, let's do it. And when you get stuck in a rut. Now, Chris and I don't get out and play golf like we used to.
Yeah, we need to.
We don't jog like we used to. Yeah. We don't walk like we even when we mow our grass, it's usually on one of those riding.
Are you watching a kid do it today from next door? Right?
Yeah. Hey, you want to use my little self-propel there? Yeah. Go for it. And the truth is that metabolism slows down. Thyroid gets sluggish. The liver doesn't detoxify. And did you know medical science is now telling us that they're now seeing fatty livers, and they're actually calling it, Chris, non-alcoholic fatty livers. They're saying that we have a liver equivalent to a beer drinking person. Okay. And I said, well, wait a minute now. Here we are. We thought we were teetotaling for good. And now you're telling us
we can't win for losing.
You're telling us that all of our biscuits and our pasta and our desserts and our casseroles have finally caught up with us. Yeah. And then they came along with these things that, well, they would stimulate you. But unfortunately, they stimulated you one step too much, and we'd make your pulse go erratic, and your heart skip a beat, and the next thing you know, you're dizzy spelled. And they said, well, we can't go down that road because it can't be healthy, and it's not. So we were looking for the safe way to actually burn fat all day. And the first thing we needed to do was to instruct the thyroid gland to behave. So in weight management support, that's what I call the vitamin, weight management support. Yeah. I put this little mint, M-I-N-T plant, they call it forskolin, mint, M-I-N-T, in the weight management support. It's there to make the thyroid behave. Then we knew that the roller coaster ride, sugar spikes, up and down, insulin, resistant. And they used an herb called Genema sylvestre. So we took an herb for the blood sugars, put it in weight management support. Now we got this herb for the thyroid. Now we got this herb for the fixing of the blood sugars. Then we need to fix that liver problem. It's fatty. So we use enzymes, little Pac-Men, and literally they go in there. And if we got a globule of too much fat, that little Pac-Man goes in there and gets a mouthful, and now he's got a jaw full, and we don't want him to spit it out. We want him to take it out. And you know what? The pancreatic system with the enzymes will flush it right out of the liver. So next thing you know, I've got a clean liver, a functioning thyroid, and a smooth blood sugar. And if you want to reduce body fat, but not at the expense of losing your muscles, weight management support. But Chris just said, what are we going to do once we get beyond that age 40 and metabolism is really stuck in a rut? And secondly, here's weight management support, number one. But remember this, you're going to love this vitamin. It's called MCT. That stands for medium chain triglyceride, MCT. It's on the bottle, MCT. Now, if you were to roll up a newspaper and throw it on your fire log, it'll burn. But if you were to roll up your newspaper and stick it in a little gasoline, and throw it on the fire log, it'll really burn. Yeah. MCT is gasoline for your weight loss. It's made from a coconut.
Really? I like coconut.
And even if you don't like coconut, you'll love MCT. Cool. And they also get it from Israel out of the palm tree, the date tree. Really? And they combine the coconut from Hawaii with the date from Israel. And it's an amazing journey. But they call that ketogenic. And it'll make everything that you've wondered, can I ever lose another pound? So
I'm going to get some of this before I leave today.
So after we get through with all of our chocolato,
I know.
Let's try it.
I know. Well, people love coffee. We got coffee places on every corner where you can stop in and get a cup of coffee. And I love coffee. I drink. Here's my routine. I usually drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning. Mm-hmm. Then I drink water the rest of the day. I don't generally get outside of that. But what about coffee? I mean, we want to assure people that coffee is good for you. Is coffee? Can you drink too much coffee? Is it okay? What about coffee?
It is 100% good, healthy, okay. Yeah. And 2 cups is perfecto. Charlie probably drinks 4 cups a day.
Yeah.
But there's no adversity there.
Right.
And coffee, the chlorogenics, they call it chlorogenics that are in the coffee bean. God put it there, and it's unique. It actually helps blood pressure.
Cool.
Cholesterol, triglyceride, blood sugar. So I got a lot of positive for coffee.
Now what about decaf? Because that's kind of manipulated, right? The coffee bean?
That old cold process where we take the bean and get rid of some of the chemistry. Caffeine is okay to be detoxed. So you can get a decaf coffee, you're fine.
All right.
I guess the problem we run into is when somebody has to cream it up so much and then sugar it up. So if you're going to sweeten it up, at least go xylitol natural or something like that.
And I tell people I drink my coffee like John Wayne drank his. I drink it black, just straight. Which I don't know how John Wayne drank his coffee, but I can just imagine John Wayne not putting sugar and cream in his coffee. He was a man,
them cowboys sitting around the campfire. Where's the cow milk?
Well,
there ain't gonna be no cow milk.
Can you imagine what that coffee tasted like? Oh, man. Well, Dr. Rouse, we are getting close to the end of this particular program. Anything else on your heart and mind you want to share with us today? This has been a great program.
What I will say that when you get ready to say, well, the new year is beginning, I am going to go on a weight loss system, or even if you're not into weight loss, I want you to think about cleansing and detoxing. And the Medicine Man, we have and it only costs $4. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Something of a bargain. We're talking about a 12-day perfect way to detox. We call it Cleanse and Detoxify. And in that bottle is 12 little capsules, and you take 1 capsule every day, sort of like for the 12 days of Christmas. You take 1 pill. And in it is rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
Did your mama ever make a rhubarb?
I've seen rhubarb pies.
I have too.
Yeah.
One of my church members, it looks like a stalk of celery, only red. She made me a rhubarb pie. It was delicious. Okay. But in that is rhubarb and Cape aloe and a probiotic. And I guarantee you that if you need to be revitalized or get your immune system more in flow or make your energy levels better digestion, less constipation, a good cleanse and detoxifier is like that. It's on our website.
Yeah.
You can call our store to check on it.
Take it out.
And would you believe, Chris, it's probably our #1 selling item at the Medicine Man.
Now, when we talk about detox, a lot of people identify that with like addiction. The alcoholic goes to the detox center. We're not talking about that. We're talking about cleansing the body of that stuff that gets clogged in there, right?
Right. And it's not for somebody who just smoked a marijuana plant or drank too much alcohol. It actually is.
It's for all of us.
For all of us, because the truth is that when our body is dragging, we're probably toxified. Right. And think about this. Everywhere we look is chemistry. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink. So we need to detox.
There's a lot of stuff out there. Some of it's good for us, and some of it may not be.
Yeah.
Well, let's give you some more good information. If you want to connect with our podcast, and we have several episodes now, and all of them, today's been exceptional, but all of them has good information. YourHealthTodayPodcast.com. Be sure to add the podcast to it now, YourHealthTodayPodcast.com. And that's the website, and there you'll find links and pages and info and all kind of good stuff. And you can listen at your leisure to our podcast programs. If you want to contact Dr. Rouse, DoctorRouse at att.net, or you can call Dr. Rouse at 229-436-01 and Dr. Rouse will be happy to talk with you. Well, that's going to wrap it up for our good program today. Thank you for joining us on Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. And be sure to join us next time for more good information on how you can stay healthy on Your Health Today.
Thank you for joining us for our program today. You can reach Dr. Rouse online through his website, themedicineman.com, or you can email Dr. Rouse at drrouse@att.net. Dr. Rouse is also available by phone at 229-436-0100. Join us again next time for Your Health Today with Dr. Charlie Rouse. Until then, please stay safe and may God bless you.